So the ruler of Punjab was Jaipal, and he was defeated by Mahmud of Ghazni. And in this way, Mahmud annexed the wealth, not annexed the wealth, actually captured the wealth of Punjab. After that, in 1008-9 century, the son of Jaipal, Anand Pal, he was the leader of a confederacy. Confederacy means a group of army of different rulers. But Mahmud of Ghazni defeated him also in the battle. And Mahmud of Ghazni actually targeted the temple towns of India. Just like his targets were against Multan, Alwar, Mathura, Nagarkot, Thaneswar and Somnath. Somnath, the famous temple, and Mahmud had invaded in the year 1025 AD to plunder the wealth from Somnath. Okay, and one of the reason was that Mahmud was against of idol worship. To invade Somnath, he was against of idol worship, so he wanted to destroy the idol, means the image of the god or statue of god of Somnath. He destroyed, he plundered the wealth and returned back. And in that time there were many scholars who had visited in India with Mahmud of Ghazni, among them Al-Biruni, who spent 10 years in India, and he wrote a book, Kitab-ul-Hind. Al-Biruni, he wrote a book, Kitab-ul-Hind, and in that book he had mentioned about the political weakness of Indian ruler, and he also mentioned that how the political weakness of Indian rulers provided opportunity to Mahmud of Ghazni to invade India and plunder the wealth of India. Mahmud, another important scholar of that time was Firdausi, who wrote Shahnama. It is a biography of Mahmud of Ghazni. From this book we can get know more about the invasion of Mahmud of Ghazni and his intentions behind the invasion of the temple towns of India. Mahmud died in century 1030. Okay, after that there was another Turkish empire, not empire, state, Ghor. It was also a very powerful state, Turkish state. So another ruler of Ghor was Muhammad Ghori, who also invaded India. But the difference between Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori's invasion is that Mahmud of Ghazni was interested only on wealth of India, whereas Muhammad Ghori wanted to establish Muslim empire in India. Muslim empire. Okay, and after that, and Muhammad Ghori, he invaded after death of Mahmud of Ghazni, means almost after 150 years he invaded India. And the important first Muhammad Ghori captured Multan in century 1175. But the most important battle which he fought was against the ruler of Delhi and Ajmer, Prithvi Raj Chauhan, and against the ruler of Kannauj, Jayachandra. Prithvi Raj Chauhan, he was a powerful Rajput ruler, and he was the last Rajput ruler of Delhi and Ajmer. Muhammad Ghori and Prithvi Raj Chauhan, they fought twice in the same battlefield, and it is known as Battle of Tarain. The Battle of Tarain happened twice. First, 1191 AD and 1192 AD. In the first Battle of Tarain, Muhammad Ghori was defeated by Prithvi Raj Chauhan. After that, Muhammad Ghori returned, and he did wait for 1 year to reinforce his army. But this time Muhammad Ghori used some tricks and he developed friendly relation with Kannauj ruler Raja Jaichand. And with the help of Raja Jaichand of Kannauj, Muhammad Ghori again challenged Prithviraj Chauhan in the same battlefield, that is called Battle of Tarain. And 1192, this time Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by Muhammad Ghori. And there was a poet, historian in Prithviraj Chauhan's kingdom or in his court. His name was Chandravardai. He wrote the biography of Prithviraj Chauhan. It is known as Prithviraj Raso. From this book we can get information that what kind of problems faced by Prithviraj Chauhan against Muhammad Ghori. So in the second battle of Tarain, which took place in 1192 AD, Muhammad Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan and Delhi and Ajmer passed into hand of Muhammad Ghori. Then for next 2 years, Raja Jaichand of Kannauj was safe from Muhammad Ghori. But in the year 1194, Muhammad Ghori called war against Raja Jaichand. Raja Jaichand, who was supported Muhammad Ghori against Prithviraj Chauhan, now this time he did not get any support and Raja Jaichand was defeated by Muhammad Ghori. In this way, Kannauj also annexed by Muhammad Ghori. So as you can see that the Arabs, first they invaded, the first Arabian invader was Muhammad bin Qasim. Then after for next 200 years, India was safe from foreign invasion. In the year 1000, Mahmud of Ghazni, he started invasion against India and he invaded India 17 times and plundered the wealth of India to make his kingdom prosperous and powerful. He died in 1030. After his death, India was again safe for next 150 years. Then Muhammad Ghori, he invaded India and his intention was very clear. He wanted to establish Turkish empire, Muslim empire in India. But there were many causes which played very important role for the downfall of Rajputs and gave opportunity to the Muslim invaders to defeat Indian Rajput rulers. First is that the Rajputs they did not have unity. There were many Rajput kingdoms, but these Rajput rulers did not have unity. They were separated like this. They did not have, and they never came to help each other when any foreign invader invaded against a Rajput ruler. This was understood by Mahmud of Ghazni and Muhammad Ghori, that the Rajput rulers did not have unity, and that's why they got success. Just as against Prithviraj Chauhan, Muhammad Ghori had used Raja Jaichand. And that is why when Muhammad Ghori invaded Kannauj, in that time no Rajput rulers came to support Raja Jaichand, because Raja Jaichand betrayed Prithviraj Chauhan in the second battle of Tarain. The Rajput chiefs, they were very jealous. They all wanted to become superpower, but they did not feel that their jealousy is giving opportunity to an outsider. And that is why they did not have unity, and this has given opportunity to the outsiders to invade India. The Rajput rulers, they did not have their own standing army. They were dependent on feudal help, feudal lords. They were helping the king when they needed. But some of the wars, what happened, these feudal lords, they did not come with the army to support the king, and that is why some of the Rajput kings faced defeat. The Rajput kings, they were not lack of power or they were not lack of courage, but they were also betrayed by their own person. The Rajputs, they did not have very quick army because the Turkish, they used cavalry, whereas the Rajputs were still standing